Good morning. Hai C is a man who moved with his family from China 4 years ago here to the United States. He's worked really hard. He's done very well. And it was last October that he moved into an upscale neighborhood called Ladera Ranch. It's a planned community, and it's there near LA. But right after they moved into their home last October, suddenly they started having all kinds of truly hate crimes against them. It wasn't horrible, but people started showing up, teenagers, coming by his home. They would knock on the door, ring the doorbell, they'd run away. They would do this maybe at dinner time to interrupt them. They would do it at nighttime when the kids were going to sleep. They'd do it all the way up to midnight, managing to come by, ring the doorbell, bang on the door, holler. They would holler racial epithets against them. They would shout things like, "Go back to your home." They threw rocks at them, threw rocks at their home. I mean, it just went on and on. He really didn't know what to do. He put in a camera, a security camera, put up a fence around his home, put out lights outside. He was trying to do everything he could just to stop them, put a chain across his driveway so these kids wouldn't come riding up on their bikes into his driveway to just suddenly be able to jump up and run up and bang on his door and ringing doorbells and screaming in the middle of the night and running off. No, it went on and on. They called the police. The police came out numerous times. But again, it just didn't stop. They had two children, an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old, 8-year-old daughter, 5-year-old son. And needless to say, they were becoming scared to death. They were afraid to go outside and to play. The parents were afraid to let them go outside by themselves to go play without parents around. No, it continued. So what to do? He got to talking to a friend of his, a neighbor, a lady in the neighborhood. Her name was Layla Park. Layla was 30 years old. She had children. She was married. She loved her neighborhood. It was a neighborhood where she had so many friends, and they would get together for dinners and cook out in the backyard. It seemed like this idyllic neighborhood. And then when she started talking to C, she started realizing that racism was very rampant in her community. Her community. It just was hard for her to believe. And when she realized how long it had gone on and how severe it was, she realized she couldn't let that happen. So she went on Facebook and she put out a word on their community Facebook page saying that she wanted to invite people to volunteer to suddenly start taking up positions around C's home. That they would all take times starting at 6 in the evening all the way to midnight. And they would see if they couldn't stop this for them. She didn't know if anybody would choose to participate, but the names came flowing in. People that did not know the C's also wanted to say, this is not acceptable in our neighborhood. And so people volunteered. And they created their sign-up sheets. And so now people around the clock are guarding the C's home to stop what was going on. These kind of racist attacks. We're hearing about these kinds of racist attacks against people from Asia all across America right now. It's not acceptable. It is wrong. And it's so very important that you and I are people who speak up and say, this is wrong. We should not call people names. We should not treat them this way. That's not who we are called to be. It was the Apostle Paul who was writing to the Romans, a world that was certainly divided by different social classes, by different ethnicities, different religions. And Paul would say, we who are strong ought to bear the struggles of the weak, and not to please ourselves. Let each of us please his neighbor for his good. That's our calling. And let us as a family of faith be the ones who rise up and love our neighbor, no exception. Have a great day.